Thank you, Jamila, so much for joining me for Exquisite Conversations. I am so grateful to have you here. I feel like I like everybody that I know, like I don't remember what people look like in person anymore. So when I get to do like when I get to do like Zoom calls, I'm like, there you are. There's that face.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the last time you saw me, I went locked up.
No.
It's been like some years, probably like
I
2 years.
know.
That went by fast.
Yeah, I know. And you have just been flourishing and just staying busy. And I'm just loving the direction that you're going in and everything that you have going on. So tell me a little bit about like your brand now, and well, for those of the people that are listening and watching that may not know who you are, tell us who you are and tell us about your brand.
So Jamila Nichole is what I go by. That's my name. And my newest baby is Earthy Notes by Nature. She was born under duress. I couldn't get to the hospital to have her. I had to have her on the floor because COVID decided that it wanted to put a monkey wrench in my formal plans to open a skincare studio, which I was successful in doing. However, because I was, still in baby stage, I had to close that. And I was like, what am I gonna do now? I got to do something. I can't just sit here and dwindle away. So I just started playing around with some stuff. And then that turned into Amazon boxes showing up to my house every other day. That turned into where am I going to put all these things that I am doing at? And hey, friend, you need some soap? We need a lotion, an oil, or something. Please, can I send this with you? Please, just take it. And from all the people that have tried my stuff saying, so you're selling this? And I was like, I'm making it. I'm not selling it. Just something to do to keep my mind going and staying in a positive, headspace. So, Earthy Notes by Nature was actually birthed in a conversation I had with my mom because we were supposed to do something together a while ago, and I was talking about the Gullah culture, the Geechee culture, and I was just like, yeah, man, because Gullah women, Geechee women are just earthy by nature. And she was like, write that down. And I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna write it down. That sounds good. Earthy by nature. And that thing sat on my spirit for like weeks, and I just couldn't shake it. I tried. I was like, I got other plans for other things. It wasn't even supposed to be what it is now. But yeah, here we are. We started in August, September, October, November. Yeah, 4 months strong. It's been awesome. It's been amazing. So it's a self-care skincare brand. So
Okay.
soaps, wet butters, body oils, and I'm gonna be working on some other spiritual things like incense, sage, jewelry, anything that helps you get back to you. That's what my brand is about. Like getting back to the center of who you are as a person. If you lost it or her or him or whatever somewhere, my goal is to create products to kind of help you get back to this taking care of yourself and not being afraid to do it because COVID had all us messed up. And I just know you gotta release the stress or you're gonna get old faster. I don't want to get
You
old fast.
are you are definitely right about that. And I love like what the one thing that I feel like 2020 has been a shitty year, but it's also been quite the character builder. Like it's really like put a lot of things in perspective for people. It's really made people kind of like boss up in a way, not that you may not have already been bossed up or anything like that, but just go up a level. It's just crazy because it was like in the beginning we were all confused, like nobody knew what and I laugh because it's like I'm a business coach, so I work with like other small businesses, and they're like, okay, well, how do you do it? And I'm like, shit, I don't know. Like,
I'm in the
I,
same boat as you.
I'm figuring it out with you as well. So, for you to have given birth to a whole business, even if it was under duress, that says a lot about, kind of where your head was at throughout all of this. So, how was it for you? You can kind of go more into, as an entrepreneur, like someone who is already doing things, you're already active, but to put that through a brand now, and in these kind of crazy times, I'm sure it was scary, because it's like, okay, is this gonna work? Is anybody gonna buy my stuff?
So the funny thing is, this business was not supposed to be revealed or birthed until next year, because
Oh,
that's the way I had
wow.
it. Because my goal was like, I hate when people make stuff and they just put it out there and then be like, buy my stuff. Like, how I know your stuff work? So I've always been like that. Now I'm about to sit. I'm gonna be like the mother hen, and I'm gonna sit on this egg until my egg is ready to hatch. But with me giving people my products, they were like, nah, you don't. You
Like,
one of
yeah, I'm
those
gonna need
super
you to go ahead
babies
and
that
drop
start. Yeah, you one of them super babies that start walking at like 7 or 8 months. That's where you're. That's where you are. Like, you need to really consider putting this in business form. And I'm like, but it's COVID outside. How am I gonna do that? Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to do that. In between, my good friend Sierra helping me kind of open my eyes to this idea of like, if universe, God, spirit, whatever you want to call it, is ready for you to move, trust me. We all know, well, most of us that went into the church system, we know that Jesus said, come on the water. Come, come, come. That's what the universe was saying. Like, come on, it's fine. I know there's a whole storm out here, but I got you. Like, just walk. So that's like what I did. So I did like a giveaway on Instagram with like some other women in the spiritual community. And it was amazing. I was not expecting it to do anything, but that jump started me into social media. Then I started posting stuff, getting inquiries left and right. I was like, wait, I don't, oh, okay. You really meant like I can do this right now. So from someone saying it's good enough, me believing it's good enough, and actually moving in the space of COVID is not going to define what my business is, not going to define what I'm able to do. People are still making money. And if anything, people are spending way more money now because they can't do nothing. They
Mhm.
can't go nowhere. So to have a package come and it's all this beautifully packaged thing, and they open it up and I'm like, ooh, that soap smell good. I'm about to go take a bath now. I'm about to go take a shower now. Or putting on my whipped butter and being like, girl, I've gotten the reviews have been hilarious. Like, girl, you almost get me jumped last night by my husband. Like, I need to put a warning label on here. Like, I get so wet pregnant. Don't come for me. So it's really just been believing my intuition. Like, if my intuition says drop this today, don't think about it, just do it. Like, I can't say that my business motto or my business standard is the norm. Like, whatever I feel, that's what I do. So if I
Yeah.
want to do soaps today, I'm going to do soaps. If I want to do oils tomorrow, I'm going to do oils. If I want to make jewelry, I'm going to make jewelry. So I just kind of go with those little inklings of, you should do this. Okay, do it, put it out. You should look into that. Okay, putting it out. So yeah, I just,
You're
COVID kind
just
of,
you're going with the flow, and you're believing in yourself, and that's a beautiful thing.
it's
It
scary though. It's like, it's yeah, it
is, it
sounds
can
great, but
be.
listen, I was like on some, I didn't even tell people who I was when I first started. I was going under the moniker of Mother Nature. I'm like, I'm not to tell nobody nothing, because if this thing flop, you ain't come for me. You will not come for me. So that's when I had that conversation with my friend, and she was like, are you doing that because you're waiting on support from people that live near you? And I was like, maybe a little bit, kind of. And she's like, no, don't do that. Trust, if the universe wants this for you, it's gonna all work out. And it did. You just this is probably, this was, if COVID didn't happen, I probably wouldn't have been here this soon. I would have still gotten
Mhm.
here, just not this soon. It was more or less like if others are flourishing, why do you think you're not worthy enough to flourish in a business,
Of
especially in a
course.
business sense? Because like, people need soap. People need to smell good. People, if you don't need to, you
People
want
definitely need
to.
soap, especially in a COVID era. So
Yeah, and people love natural soap. Some people like scented soap. So I cater to both sides. It's just why not? It was literally a why not me? Yeah, yeah. Why not me? I'm doing it. I don't care what happens.
And it's one of those things. I also think that um it's just like when you feel like it's time. You just have to, like, you already had the idea in your head. You already had the whole thing mapped out, and you're just not just one thing. And that's the thing that I really admire about your brand. It's like, you're doing what it is that you want to do, but it's like you have skincare products. You have, just like how you said, jewelry you're eventually going to add. It's really like, it's more than a skincare brand. It's like a self-care, like, movement, in a sense, like caring for yourself. Talk about why you think like something like that is really important. And I don't know if you feel like your brand caters more toward women, or is it just like it just caters towards like people. I always like to clarify that with women because
Earthy, I call you guys, or my people that are looking to get back to themselves, my earthylings. Like your earthy people, you walk outside with no shoes on. You like to connect to nature. You like to gaze at the moon, gaze at the sun, look at the stars. This is for anybody. I mean, even that this is a exclusive on your behalf. At some point, I will have earthy lane kids because self-care needs to start younger. Like my little babies, they ain't babies, they're like 9 and 7, but they stress like they grown. And I'm like, no, baby, you
And
shouldn't be stressing.
even more now, like it's
Yeah,
interesting. I was just talking to a friend of mine about that. It's like now, like COVID, the interesting thing about COVID is like they're affected by it directly too.
right.
Like they're watching the news with us. They're wearing the mask too. Like they can't go to school to go see and be around their friends. Like, so it's like they're stressed out too. And I don't think a lot of people like realize that, like, holy shit, like these kids are probably going through it right now.
Yeah, because we assume, oh, we're the adults and it's so bad for us. Like these babies don't get to have a first day of school.
Yeah.
These babies don't get to interact with their like last year's classmates, and like my kids have developed a small bit of anxiety because they don't get that socialism like they used to. So
Mhm.
self-care was important for me because COVID really brought that back to the forefront. Like I already was researching things as an esthetician to help cater more to the stressful individual, which is everybody, and learning about psychodermatology and how we can induce, um, how I say, serotonin levels in your body naturally without having to go out and like do drugs, for lack of better words. And just doing classes and researching it and understanding that like taking a warm bath immediately brings your serotonin levels up. Therefore, you can't stress. Meditation, mindful thinking, mindful breathing, all that stuff caters to bringing you back to a place of balance. The imbalances cause the skin to go crazy. The skin going crazy causes more stress. So if you can cater to the self-care part, self-care doesn't look like everything for everybody. Like you may not want to
Oh
buy
yeah.
soap, but you might like crystals. So I might I might have my crystal selections for you. You may be a meditator. I'll make sure that I have that mag champa and the sage to the side for you. You might be I just need a book and some fuzzy socks. Well, I'm gonna figure that out for you too. So the brand is really just about
Customizing the self-care
right.
experience.
It's about you. It has nothing
Yeah.
to do with me. I'm just a vessel. Like I hear something, oh, okay, never thought about that. Write it down. And it'll show up to me via someone saying something or
Hmm.
reading it somewhere else. I'm like, okay, well, I guess that's something I need to actually do. So yeah, self-care for everyone. There is no age. I mean, I did a vending event recently and the people that came to my table were from little young kids, probably like 6 or 7, like my children's age, up to like my grandmother's age, interested in my products. So it's like, I want to make sure that I have something for everybody wherever they are in their self-care journey. Um,
Hmm.
so it's men, women, babies, children, um, teenagers. because I have a lot of
It's a very important like market as well, because I mean that's puberty, like
oh
that's
man,
when you right in the trenches of your skincare issues.
yes. Yes, and then most of the time, you know, as teenagers, well, I remember being a teenager, like I did like a bunch of Clearasil and I did a lot
Yeah, you're trying products and just putting anything on your face
and
from watching TV, and
yes, any
because
and everything to get it off your face.
you remember Noxzema, like how cakey and it looked like fucking cottage cheese, and
It was
I
just like
remember putting it on my face, like thinking I
flattering. Like this is gonna make me pretty. Come on now.
but it's just so funny to think about that. But no, it's definitely you are correct. Like there needs to be more education when it comes to proper self-care and just a general understanding of it, because even now as an adult, like I feel like I wasn't introduced to self-care until I was an adult. Like
Mhm.
nobody ever like talked about it or taught me anything about it prior to that. So when I learned it as an adult, it was like, what? Like, I don't have time for this. You
Right.
know? So it's like you never realize like how important it is until like after you're not doing it for a while.
Yeah, especially in our community as Black women,
Yes.
we will make every excuse to not take care of ourselves. I
Mhm.
mean, oh my kids, oh my mama, oh my cousin, oh my left hip on a Tuesday. Like it can be anything for us to say, oh, I can indulge in getting a facial or a massage or taking a self-care day where I am not mommy or I am not wife or I am not businesswoman. I am just me. Like
Mhm.
literally I feel like Black women we just don't because we have to be super. We have to be
Mhm.
super all the time. So it's like if I have to be super, then when am I going to be able to take care of self?
Yeah, exactly. And most women don't even realize like, hey, I should take care of myself. You know, we don't take care of ourselves as we should. That's why there's so much about even further into our health that we don't even know about. Like, you know, when it comes to our bodies and things like that, like you'll be surprised, like you'll talk to certain women and they don't know like about like even as much as cleaning your body the proper way. You know, it sounds crazy, but it's actually like we it's just a cultural thing, unfortunately. And
Yeah.
I just love this whole wave now of people like saying, nope, gotta take care of
I do it.
ourselves.
Yeah, it's so important. That
Yes.
you know, you always hear that, well, how can you fill a cup if you're empty? Like that's the truth.
Yeah,
If you have nothing, you can give nothing. But then I heard
exactly.
something even furthering that idea of you only give what you have extra of. So yes,
Yes,
spill you 100%. If you are spilling, that's the part you give. If you are not
exactly.
spilling, then you can't give because you don't have any extra. You take from your full cup. It's gonna
You're not full
diminish.
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
So then like then what happens when you realize you're at the end? Now you yelling at people. Now you ready to fight, break stuff. You trying to figure out why you're depressed, why you got anxiety, because you're not handling you first. You're
Mhm.
handling everything else, especially things that aren't like if it's not watering you back the same way you water it, then you really in trouble. So it's
Oh
like
yeah.
take that time to remember I
So
must keep me good.
no, you're absolutely right. So I was gonna ask you, like, you know, you're a Black woman, of course. You're a mom. You're a wife. You're a business owner. You know, what is self care for you? You know, what does self care look like for you? What's your experience like, and what's been your journey like with it? Because I know everyone is like, oh, I didn't really start taking care of myself until you know something traumatic happened to me, or I went through this horrible situation. It's like you know, and I hear that so much with Black women. I'm like, is that what it takes for all of us?
Well, see, I've always been a really spiritual person. I'm the weird one in my family, and it's cool. I accept it. It's fine. I mean, I'm not the only one, but I'm like, in my head, I'm the only one. So, really, self care for me has always been break. My great grandmother was a stickler of break. Sundays, break. There is no work to be done on a Sunday. You need to sit down. You're going to church, but you need to sit down and do nothing on a Sunday. So that's kind of how it started in me, like being imprinted in me as a little girl. And then growing up, I lost that. Because I'm like, nah, I gotta work on Sunday. No, I got things to do on Sunday. Like, yeah, I go to church, hallelujah, but I got other stuff to do. And then as I got older, I even got out of the whole going to church phase. And I was like, I'm just gonna have my own fellowship at home. I'll do what I like doing. For me, it started off with just like sitting outside, walking on a beach, like barefoot. I like being barefoot. I'm barefoot now. I like being barefoot. I like to feel stuff. I like to just connect in that way. Meditation is huge to me. But it really, like, self-care really started to play a part when I got pregnant with my son, my first son. Because being pregnant kind of forces you to pay attention to everything.
Oh yeah,
It's
trust
because
me,
it's
I
like, it's
understand.
not just you anymore. It's like I have a whole life growing inside. So recognizing that when I'm extremely tense or stressed, that this baby starts moving and be a little different. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I need to go sit in a warm bath to calm my little nerves down so they can calm down. And then even after having my children, knowing that if I don't rest so that I can give them the better version of myself, that we all gonna be messed up. So self-care for me, like right now they're not here. Self-care. That's self-care for me. Go ahead. I love y'all, but go ahead with your daddy. Have fun. I'll see y'all when y'all get back. Self-care for me is watching a Netflix series that I didn't get to watch. Binge watching those. Writing, singing, creating. Creativity in its everything is self-care for me. It's so healing to make something and have somebody else experience it, whether that's food, whether that's whatever. Like, that's why I called myself Mother Nature, because my nature is to create. Mother creates all things. I am she is me. So I feel like that's me. That's my self-care journey in a retrospective sense. Like, just, it didn't come from trauma. It just came from a very strict great grandmother where I was like, don't you iron nothing on no Sunday, don't you clean nothing on no Sunday, you sit here and we go prepare Sunday meals Saturday night for us. Like it really was like, we're gonna eat, we're gonna enjoy each other, and we're gonna fellowship, and that was it. There was no, Sunday was always just breezy and free until I got older, and then it wouldn't. And then I had to get back to that because I had kids, and then it was like, okay, well, let me get back to it my way. Not necessarily in the church way, but in the sense of you have to rest. Like, resting is the most powerful thing you can do if you're somebody that's busy. The power of still. There is so much power in still. Like, that's what COVID taught me. There is power in still. Like, sit down.
Yes.
Sit down. You can go outside.
This
The
was
bed
a
is out
very
there.
humbling year. Like, this whole life came and told us all, sit your ass down somewhere. Like, in the most ignorant way too.
Hey, you going there? Where you going there? Nah, sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Oh, you thought you was going to wear your mask? Oh no, because you should be at home, sitting down. That's
exactly. So what's next for your brand? It sounds like you already have, you had a little bit of an early baby, but you still, your original plan was 2021. So now that the race has already started, what's kind of like next now? Because it sounds like you already got like probably your next couple months planned.
There's so much more, because like I said, like, self-care is so many different things. Like, I want to get into it from different levels, like even your sign. I took a self-care class based on your moon sign, which was super eye-opening, because it's just so many different things that you can cater to yourself based of what's around you, including nature, including astrology, numerology, all whatever. People want to believe, some don't. That's fine. But those who do, I want to cater, to more of that side, the more metaphysical side. I do want to get more to the spiritual side, just really calming self to a place. So meditative aspects, like getting things to help people meditate. Now, those who know me know I sing. At some point, I don't want to say too much because people like to hold you to it, okay? They will hold me to it. But I have an idea in my head. I've had this idea for a while, but I do want to at some point bring music into self-care. Because some people's self-care is going out to going out to the bar, or like something real nice and mellow and hearing jazz music. Or I've been getting a lot into like lo-fi, chill hop, just real, calm, cool. You put it on, it just makes you feel like, yes, like that kind of music. So I intend on doing that at some point. But all in all, I want to touch every aspect of self-care as it pertains to any and everybody. That doesn't mean I'm going to carry it all the time. Just, I want to be able to say, oh, I offer that. Or yeah, I can help you with this. And then this other, like, with my facials, I'll be adding crystal healing into that at some point too. I'm just going to be dabbling. Dabbling in it all. We touching it all. We dabbling in it all. And at the end of the day, we are bringing you back to self-care.
Well, I definitely love to hear that. I am in love with that because self-care is such an important thing. And I hope every single person listening or watching this is going to contact you to help them get their self-care mind right. So if somebody is watching this or listening and they're like, you know what, let me get my shit together, how can they contact you?
You can visit my website at simplyearthynotes.com. Literally, that is it. Simplyearthynotes.com. You'll be able to find me there. Or just look me up, Jamila Nichole. Nichole, Chole, not Nichole. Yeah, there we go. On Instagram. And I'll get you right. And if I don't have something, you won't ask me for it. I'll make it for you. I promise I will.
You are very creative and very talented. It's one of the things that I love and admire about you. So thank you again, Jamila. I certainly appreciate your time for another episode of Exquisite Conversation.